Welcome to this week's Give Voice to Your Vision. Today, we're talking about that feeling when you're visible and you're out there, you're sharing your message, but you're really not getting the results that you want. And you feel like something could be working better. And specifically about the art and the science to visibility that actually turns into the clients and revenue that you want. Welcome. I'm going to stay focused today. I promise to talk about what makes visibility magnetic instead of exhausting, and the missing link between feeling that connection and the rapport that you can build with your audience that leads to confidence and actually having clients sign up, and why vulnerability can become one of your superpowers. We'll talk a little bit about why this visibility, especially those of us closest to our calling, our heart's message, find that vulnerability around being visible, and what you can do about it. So welcome. If you're here watching live, say hello in the comments. We'll come back and make sure we see you. If this is valuable for you, please share the link from wherever you're watching, on Facebook, on YouTube, or on LinkedIn, so that more people can benefit. And so when we talk about magnetic visibility, having that resonance with your potential audience, clients, when you show, that is when we're talking about the art of visibility. There's an energetic presence, a quickening, a life force that only you bring. And your visibility, if we leave that out and just think strategy and messaging and tactics and tools and platforms and technology, then we're leaving out the secret ingredient, the je ne sais quoi that makes you, your company, you. And we're relying on action without the vision and the energetic presence that allows those actions to have massively bigger and better results. So when you show up from alignment and clarity and not trying to prove or be or do something you think you're supposed to be, your audience will feel you. Remember, people remember how you make them feel. Your presence is felt before you're ever opening your mouth, whether it's on a video or even in a blog or when you're writing. That energetic presence can come through, and video is often, obviously, such a huge, powerful tool that we use in the world today. Being able to drop into that presence and share your message is an accelerant for your mission, vision, business, revenue, and prosperity and impact. Your energy is the first thing your audience responds to on a subconscious level, and often on a very conscious level. They're like, whoa, what? That feels true. Having things ring true. So magnetic visibility is about really showing up with all of who you are, with clarity, with strategy, with clear messaging and offers that lead to results, and the language of your clients and all of those things that we build skill in. That's more of the science of visibility. But the magnetic visibility that creates resonance, right? That resonance, that tuning fork feeling of this person gets me. They have an answer to something that I'm working on. I like the way they say it, or I resonate with what they're promising or with what's possible for me. I feel inspired. That is the art of visibility, right? That's what makes your best clients stop the scroll and listen for a minute. And then there's often between like what's on our heart and how we talk about it and what we share, there's often a gap between what we want to say and how we show up to share it, or how we can say it and share it in a way that people actually get us. And that's where having outside eyes, some skill, some support to hone that messaging. Even as a messaging master for my clients, I have support with that. And so most people are being visible, or it's very easy to be visible and not have clarity that resonates with your best clients. There's no template formula, no one size fits all pathway to how you talk about what you do, so that you have your best clients see you, hear you, and decide to work with you. It's a combination. It is an art and a science. It's a combination of that message on your heart and then developing the skill, strategy, clarity for the language that's going to resonate with those clients. And when your offer, the promise of working with you, the words you use to talk about it, your message are clear to you, first of all, so you can line your energy up with the enthusiasm and excitement you have about these amazing results you're going to help your clients to get, then you'll have a little more confidence, a little more wind under your wings, and the clarity and confidence will come through to your audience. It becomes more natural. The visibility has a different energetic frequency that's ringing through because of your own alignment and the clarity and the language that's aligned with your clients that you use to share it. Clients then start to feel grounded and confident and trust because of your clarity, and they get it. So if we can speak how they get it, then they can ring through and resonate. And again, it's not just the words. Part of it is who you are and how you show up. So being bold and clear and daring and taking up lots of space, which doesn't always come naturally for those of us in the transformation space of coaching, healing, consulting, building our own business, our own vision, doing the work that we do to help uplift others, is often a vulnerable act. I was just talking with another woman who's about to grow her own business after being an employee for most of her life. And there is a vulnerability around stepping into our voice through an aligned business when it is our work, our expertise, the puzzle, the way we've put it together that we're making available to help others put their puzzle together. There's an extra layer of vulnerability that people often don't talk about, and we tend to feel vulnerable, but then kind of judge ourselves or just beat ourselves up. Get over it. What's wrong with you? You can talk to 10,000 people on the stage at IBM. But this was a client I had who was a leader in a big company and did really well, and then had her own experience of health recovery and gut health and transformation and healing past wounds. And when she was called to speak at the Gut Instinct conference, speaking about that thing closest to her heart made tears well up, and it felt so raw and vulnerable. So I've heard this story thousands and thousands of times. I've lived it myself. That thing that's closest to our heart comes with this extra charge of vulnerability. It feels personal. And there's some inner work to do, some calibrating more closely into the power and truth of who we are. And some of that is done through the science of learning the skill and the strategy. Some of it is done through the art of showing up fully and having whatever champion, clarity, community, platform that will help you to really show up with all of who you are in that moment. That is an art. That is a way of being. That is a practice. If you think of your visibility like a practice, as in martial arts is a practice or meditation is a practice, that can help you to merge the art and the science in a very practical and pragmatic way so that you can show up with all of the truth of who you are. Who knew that's what we were doing when we decided to grow a healing, coaching, transformation, speaking, author business, right? And that's why your business is a vehicle for your calling. It's also one of the highest levels of self-expression that you can have when you're balancing that art and that science, the expression of your vision, what you can create. Remember, your vision is infinite and your action is finite. There's only so much you can do. So we want to have the art and the science of visibility so that our energetic presence is fully alive. We need to feel safe, heard, clear, focused, aligned in order to allow that kind of presence to embody that kind of presence and allow it to be part of how we show up. And that is a journey. It's a practice as well. It's something we show up to on a regular basis, and then we get better at it. We trust it more. So That vulnerable feeling can actually be the thing that amplifies your presence and prosperity, because people feel you before they hear a word you say. And the closer you get to your heart's message, the more vulnerable it feels. But that vulnerability and being transparent, it creates this charge to your energetic field. When you show up with enthusiasm, clarity, transparency, and even if there's a little bit of a wobble and you share with some of the science, you've got the language crafted in, you've got some offer clarity, and the courageous presence of, I am all in, I'm present with you here, then your audience feels it and it amplifies their trust, their confidence, and their resonance. That kind of vulnerability, that doesn't mean like sharing, the whole story and all the gritty details. It just means acknowledging it and showing up and sharing anyway, offering if even one person will be served and uplifted that day by your message, the marketing your business is putting out into the world. Will you show up and share it? And it is most potent often when we're right at the edge, at closest to our own expansion, that next vulnerable edge, because people can feel it and it helps them to feel seen and heard and understood. So powerful. That vulnerability can build trust. It makes you human, and being human, doing live video in today's world of AI and everything sounding the same, and anybody can make it look good, and everybody sounds like is that a robot or is that me, right? So showing up with all of who you are is something that no AI can do. They can do a pretty good pass at it, and it's going to get better. So having that transparency is an elixir for clarity, trust, confidence. People crave that connection. And when you show up with all of who you are, and you know that the selling and the marketing and the visibility is a service, it is inviting people to their transformation, people will feel it. You can feel aligned with the process of selling as serving. You can pour your care and conviction into the skills, the science of how you show up and share your message and invite people into the transformation they want. So remember that your vulnerability isn't a weakness. It is a frequency booster. It's the frequency of trust, of self-expression, of courage, of confidence, of clarity. And your audience will feel that before they hear a word you say. So just to close for today, if this has been valuable for you, please comment below. How are you putting the art and science of visibility into practice in the day-to-day showing up of your business? Remember, the art of it is your energetic presence, the vulnerability, the inner growth, the expression, that thing on your heart, the mission on your heart, the words and the vision of that you want people to know, how the transformation that you bring, your own and for your clients. So there's an art and a chemistry to that energetic frequency of how you show up and play all in and get bigger and bigger to grow as you go. And then there's the science. What is the strategy? Are we tracking the stats? What is the science of how can we talk about what we do in a way that people will resonate? And how are we making those offers? And are those offers converting? Are people signing up and having the transformation? If not, what does the little small shift that could make a big difference in those results so that our business is thriving and serving more people? So then there's the science of data and language and strategy. And when those two meet, your visibility inherently generates the prosperity, impact, and income that you want. And your voice, your presence, your words, written or spoken, sung, move people. And when people are moved, you will generate more prosperity for your business. They will resonate and connect as long as you've got the science of bringing them into your world and signing them up, working for you. And you'll uplift the audience and the people who come across that message, whether they work with you or not. And especially for your clients, they're going to have the transformation that you bring, more prosperity, abundance, health, well-being, freedom, time, by having the support that you provide through your business as well. So that is how the art and the science of visibility can help you create real impact, connection, and resonance that leads to prosperity for you, for your business, and for all who get to be in that energetic field with your marketing, your message, your sales, your events, and the content that you create. That's this week's Give Voice to Your Vision. I am Michelle Copper. You know that because you're here. If you have resonated with this or you have a takeaway or an aha, I would love to see you share that in the comments. If this has been valuable, I'd love for you to share this with others who would benefit. And this week, look out for, if you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube, look out for the Magnetic Visibility Summit. My client and colleague, Kanika Vasuvida, is hosting the Magnetic Visibility Summit. I can link to that event here under this video. And this is about that energetic field, the energetic presence that is the art and the mastery of showing up with all of who you are and clearing blocks and fears around being seen and heard. She's gathered some amazing experts to specifically address that visibility through, and it's a very experiential 2-day online retreat where we're going to be doing some of the healing and the work. I'll be speaking on how to amplify your presence to 7 figures and beyond. And that's coming up in about 10 days. So I'll make sure you have access to that too. If you want to join us for that integrative implementation experience. I'd love to have your insights and inspiration on what helps you be visible, what stops you from being visible. If you want to share or DM me, and we can weave that into some of the magic that we'll create in the summit and into future trainings for you here. All right, so have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next Give Voice to Your Vision.